Hey everyone, Tyler Horvath here, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to increase your WordPress website speed with a content delivery network and caching. So what exactly is a content delivery network? A content delivery network, or CDN, is a system of distributed servers that deliver pages and other web content to a user based on the geographical locations of the user, the origin of the web page, and the content delivery server. In other words, other servers are hosting your media like images, JavaScript, and CSS to decrease the load on your own server, increasing your website speed. I know it sounds a little complicated, but it's super simple to set up, so let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is sign up to StackPath. So StackPath is a content delivery network that will host your files and allow you to set up a CDN really easy on your WordPress website. So the first thing to do is sign up for StackPath. I'll put a link below that so you can easily get to it, and you're going to create an account. Now to use the CDN, it is about $10 a month, so it's pretty affordable, and you'll see some really great speeds with it. So let's sign up to StackPath. Now we already have an account, so I'm just going to log in here, and here is our StackPath account. Now the first thing that you're going to do when you create an account is you're going to be directed to create a site. So the site is basically your website, so that it knows how to create the domains to host on your site. So the first thing that we're going to do is click create a site, and we are going to be doing this for our WordPress SEO.net site. So you're going to type in your URL, exactly, just the domain name. And then you're going to choose CDN because we want to add the CDN. Now I wouldn't worry about any of these upgrades. This is going to provide you a pretty good increase in speed. So for now, just click CDN and then click next. And it's going to make you confirm the host name or IP address. You shouldn't need to change anything here. It should automatically pull that for you. So just click continue again. Okay, and now it has been successfully created, and you should see your edge address. So your edge address is basically your new domain where all of your files are going to be hosted. So you will see this in your site's code once we set it up on our site, and it will pull all of those files from your site to this URL and host them on this URL. So we shouldn't need to copy this or anything, so let's just click continue. And now what we're going to need to do is we're going to create some API credentials so that we can integrate StackPath into a WordPress site so that it automatically sets up all the CDN for us, and we basically don't have to do anything except add the API codes. So you're going to click the top right corner here, and you're going to go to API Management. And this is where you can generate your API credentials. So click Generate Credentials, and then you're going to add a name. So let's just call this WordPress SEO site, and then click Save. And now it's going to spit out a client ID and an API client secret. Now I blur these out so that for obvious reasons, so that people don't use my API code. But you're going to basically copy these codes, and now we're going to go into WordPress and set things up in there, and then enter in these details. So go to your WordPress backend, and you're going to go to the plugin area, and we're going to add a new plugin called W3 Total Cache. Now, this plugin is a really great speed plugin that will allow you to really increase the speed of your site. So find W3 Total Cache by Frederick Towns, and then click Install Now. And then before we activate it, we want to first get a baseline test of our site speed. So there's plenty of tools that you can use to check your site speed. I'll add a few down below so that you can easily get to them. But I always just use Pingdom Tools. It's a pretty simple test, and it can give you, a decent readout of what your site speed is. So the first thing we're going to do is go to tools.pingdom.com, add in our URL, and then you want to test from a location that's closest to you. So let's say Washington, D.C., and then click Start Test. Now this will run a few tests on your site and check the speed. It will pull all the resources and see how long that takes to load. So this will give us a base of a starting point to know where our site started as far as site speed. So then we can do this same test at the end, and hopefully it will be faster than it was on this first test. So let's let this run and see what we get. Okay, so it's done, and it took about 3.27 seconds to load the homepage at WordPress.SEO.net. So that's pretty good already, but as you can see below, there's a number of improvements that we can make, and the W3 Total Cache plugin will help a lot of these. So let's go back to our site, and let's click Activate. And now by default, this will install some caching. So what caching is it's basically generating a really simple HTML version of each page when someone visits that page. Now when someone else visits that page, instead of pulling from the database again and pulling all those resources again, it's just going to show that simple HTML page that was cached before. So this really decreases the load on your server and on your pages and loading, and will really increase your speed. So now that you have W3 Total Cache installed, you should see this performance tab here on the left. So let's go here and go to General Settings. So you can see here that page cache is already turned on. We also already have Minify turned on. So you'll want to check your site after you do this, because sometimes, depending on your server, it can mess up your CSS because it's basically crunching it all down into one file and making it really small and really fast. So it's possible that it can mess some things up. So make sure you click Save All when you enable Minify, and then go to your site and check and make sure that everything looks right and everything's still in the right place, etc. So you can see here there's some issues here with this. So let's reload it a few times and see if that fixes it. It's also possible that your CDN is still grabbing all of those files, and it takes a while to pull in all those files. So let's go here and set up our CDN. So let's scroll all the way down here to CDN, and we're going to choose StackPath. As you can see, it's already chosen in here, and then click Enable, and then you're going to click Save Settings. So now there's one more thing that we need to do, and that is add our API credentials that we created before. So click on CDN on the left part here and go to more of the detail page, and then we're going to add in our authorization to StackPath. So what you're going to do is you're going to click Authorize or Reauthorize if you've already created it, and then you're going to add in those API credentials that we pulled back here in our StackPath account. So simply copy those here and then click Next. And then you're going to choose your site to use that we've already created in StackPath, and then we're going to click Apply. And that's it. So now the CDN is all set up, and we can test to make sure it works in a few different ways. The first way is simply by clicking this Test StackPath button, and it says Test Path, so it should be good, but make sure you click Save All Settings and Purge Cache. And then we're going to go check the site and make sure that all of our images are there and everything looks right and it's working okay. So let's go back to our site here and click Control F5 to clear any caches that are in the browser. Okay, and now we can see our site is looking good, looks normal like it is. And then if you want to check again just to make sure that your CDN is working, you can either do F12 in Chrome to see the source, or you can click right click and view page source. But we're going to look at an image here and make sure that it is in, so it is pointing to our new StackPathCDN.com. You can see that right here in the image. Instead of WordPress.seo.net, it's our new edge address. So the CDN is on and working, and we are all good there. And then we have the caching installed as well. So just to go over that again, we have our page cache enabled. Now this page cache method, you don't need to worry too much about that. Disk enhance is good enough. If your server uses opcode or anything like that, you can definitely choose those for more speed. And then the opcode cache, if you have that, it will already be set. I wouldn't use database cache or object caching unless you have a really large site. And then you have your browser cache. And now those are the only caches that you need to install and set up on your site, and that should give you enough speed to get a really fast website. So let's now go back to our speed test, and let's make another test here, and then click Start Test, and let's see what difference we get than we got before. So before we got about 3.2 seconds load time, and now we have caching installed, we have a CDN installed, so let's see how fast our website is now. Okay, so it ran, and you can see here that we got a load time of 1.52 seconds. So it is 50% faster than it was before, with just a few checkboxes and $10 extra a month with StackPath. So I hope this video helped you increase the speed of your WordPress website. If you have any questions, please comment below. Also be sure to follow my channel and click subscribe. I'm always posting great content on how to start and grow your business online. So thanks, and I'll see you next time.